The ground is in perfect order, and thousands upon thousands of Hawke's Bay fans have turned up for this game between the Lions and Hawke's Bay. Hawke's Bay have never beaten the Lions before. This time they think they've got the side that can. So, Jock Hobbs, it's a big day, isn't it, for Hawke's Bay Rugby?
It's a marvellous afternoon for this Hawke's Bay team. I'm sure it's a game that they've looked forward to for some time. They've said they'll play an expensive game. I'm sure they will. They'll throw everything at this Lions team, including the spare tyre. For the Lions, it's a very important game, having regard to their loss on Saturday. There'll be a lot of pressure on this team to win, and to win well.
OK, Jock Hobbs then with comments today. Let's find out what the teams look like from Mark Leishman.
The Hawkeyes have plenty of backline pace with George Cornier, Aaron Hamilton and Peter Davis. Davis was around to play the 83 Lions. The Locks will have mixed emotions. Both Bill Davidson and John Fowler are British from London's Roslyn Park. They've added the necessary height to the Hawke's Bay line-out. And look out for another typically up-front game from Norm Hewitt. Well, apart from Will Carling, there are no real test players on the park today. Carling himself has an injury, but is playing to give Jeremy Guscott a rest. We've been waiting for Robert Jones and Stuart Barnes to fire some shots. Perhaps today's the day. Jason Leonard is back. He shifted from loose head to tight head prop. Let's rejoin John Macbeth with Jock Hobbs.
80 minutes of rugby action is given the go-ahead by referee Paddy O'Brien. Match 10 of the Lions tour starts. 15 metres inside the Hawke's Bay half. It's a loose ball and it's scooped up there. That's Hewitt continuing that tremendous form that he's shown all this season. Webber, the dive pass out to Kerr. Using the left foot to nudge the ball in behind the right winger Wallace. He waits for it, the Irish winger, and he clears from inside the 22. This is the first line out. Hawke's Bay using Tremaine, who's playing at number 8. Running with it, Webber. Neil Webber, the halfback from Hawke's Bay. The ball was made available for them in centre field. That was an ideal attacking opportunity, but the Lions have infringed. Very concentrated performance from Cunningham, but he misses. So that wasn't a difficult kick for Jared Cunningham.
Still, the Hawke's Bay have the territorial advantage at the moment. They'll want to convert it into early points.
Stuart Barnes, another one, gunning for a test spot if he can get it. That's his opposite number, Simon Kerr. One of 3 players in this team who've returned home to the Bay after spending time in other provinces. Neil Webber reaches in, feeding Falcon. The chip through from Paiwai. Offside again by the Lions. So the Lions making mistakes early in this game. So far, though, it hasn't cost them points. It takes a long time. Jared Cunningham. Oh, and he's normally so accurate from those sort of positions, but he misses 2. High restart from Barnes. The ball bounces high too. That was Milne feeding the backs. Barnes putting it way in behind Cunningham. An excellent kick there from Barnes, which puts the Lions on attack for the first time.
Well, a very good kick from Barnes, but Falcon made it known to Barnes that he's here.
Just a little tickle up, was it?
Again, it's untidy ball from the dropout. It's cleared to Barnes, who puts in a good kick. It's perfectly legitimate, but Falcon will want to let Barnes know that he's under pressure from him.
There goes the Lions driving up over to the line. That's Galway with the ball. Teague fed him the possession. 5 metres short. Lions took it in. Hawke's Bay get the defensive scrum. So for the first time in the game, the Lions really on attack. One world of sport from McLean Park in Napier. In front of their own goalposts. Webber, Cunningham. Missed with 2 penalties, but he hits that punt well. Looking at the middle of the line out. Simon Tremaine penalised. He was actually claiming a penalty the other way. Referee quite firm in the line-out, saying don't lean on the opposition players. Well, the goal kickers aren't doing much good today. Cunningham's missed 2, and now Barnes misses 1. There's still no score. Wearing the blue headgear, that's Dion Kerr. Former New Zealand Universities player, Simon Kerr. Restarting with the 22. Lions nice and low as they push into this maul. That's Taylor in there with the ball, trying to rob the Lions of it, prevent them from freeing it. And it looks as though Taylor's in control there. Getting a good shove on from all bar one of the Hawke's Bay pack. You can see Falcon standing out. Falcon joins, the whistle goes. Who took it in? The Lions, I think, from the kickoff. Oh no, the other way around. White took it in, says referee O'Brien.
Well, that's questionable, but the Lions will be very disappointed with that effort. They had the ball under control. They looked like they were going to make a surge towards the Hawke's Bay goal line. But the body position and the depth was just not there, and it broke down.
Lions on attack, back standing deep, working a short move off the scrum. Cronin goes in to retrieve the ball after it was quite lazily kicked away. Now the back's into action. Cunningham, almost the gap. Up to the 22 go the Lions. Carling made that burst. 20 metres out, 25 metres out. Jones, short side. There's a lot of players there, but Hawke's Bay have blocked it off. Barnes' kick is a great one for Wallace. Hacked away dead. It had been knocked forward by the Lions. They went close to scoring that time. Very, very close indeed after the kick through from Barnes.
Yeah, short kick from Barnes, and the bounce is not good for Hawke's Bay. Compounds the problem. Not able to secure the ball.
Live action now, One World of Sport at McLean Park in Napier. Floating pass to Davis. Oh. That seemed to be a missed call there because the ball would normally have been going to Kerr or Cunningham. It went to Hamilton, in fact, the right winger.
Hold on. Whoa. Back.
Solid scrum. Hawke's Bay, a pretty experienced front row with Crawford and Taylor and Hewitt there. The Lions try a second shove. Now Jones runs it, looking for Underwood from the blind wing. Webster was there to rip it away and set it up for the Lions. Now they can move either side. 20 metre short side coming left. No, they go the open side. Carling with the drop goal. Carling gets the first points of this game at McLean Park. 11 minutes gone. The Lions lead by 3 points to 0.
The Lions finally able to convert this early pressure into points. Comes from a solid scrum to this position. The Lions' backs were left and right. It goes right. Carling stops. Kicks. Three points.
Well, it's a bit scrappy so far, isn't it?
Yes, I don't think either forward pack would be happy with the exchanges so far. Ball retention, ball control hasn't been good.
Galway well wrapped up there by Tremaine. Jones turns the ball back the other way. Carling hasn't shown much on this tour, but he looks as though he might want to have a crack at it today. He senses his test position is under pressure. Clement coming into the line. Cunningham outside him, the number 13. It looks as though it might have turned over the Hawke's Bay way. Hewitt's there working it free to Webber. Just bouncing it into touch is the call from the touch judge. 5 metres inside the Lions' half.
The Lions trying to mount an attack. Ball turned over. Not good.
Oh, they're winning quite a bit of ball at the front of the line-out. Now that's Norton Hewitt. He's hard to stop. As Tony Underwood found out. Now Webber. Kerr. There's a line-out. Ponnier. Cunningham. Timing needed. Back to Kerr. The Lions have been able to get across there. Davis has a little dab. Can Hawke's Bay win it quickly? No, the whistle has sounded. Well, that was a great move. And it started from the front of the line-out take, and then it was hammered on by Norm Hewitt. He just took the pass in from the front of the line-out man and belted away. Now, the restart. Webber using the short side. Webber running. Davis held just 2 metres short.
Well, there's all sorts of pressure on the Lions team at this line-out.
So Milne. Good throw for Cronin. Jones just getting his kick away, has not found touch. That's a pressure ball for Davis to take. The Lions have it, just out from the 22. Driven on there by Cronin. Quite an energetic lock, Damien Cronin. But the Lions standing very upright there, but still able to free the ball. Again the kick. Again it's Davis asked the question. Again the Lions win the ball. Reed and Teague. Milne setting it up again, through ruining it with Hewitt, and it has been turned over, I think, by Hawke's Bay. Hawke's Bay are going to get the ball. The Hawke's Bay backs getting back on, attacking line. That's Kerr. Well, a bit scrappy close to the rucks and wall so far. Barnes, he loves to run, and he can run. A high tackle called by the referee, and there'll be a penalty to the Lions.
Well, from this, there is a penalty. Barnes moving. There's a rule of a high tackle. Again, I would think a line call.
Barnes then to make it 6-0. He's successful. So it's a drop goal to Carling. A penalty to Stuart Barnes, and the Lions lead by 6-0. They've shown they have attacking ability. Well, that there's no doubt. Kerr with the restart. The Lions leading 6-0. One World of Sport at McLean Park in Napier. Hacking the ball ahead was John Fowler, the other English import there. Under pressure on the far side is Wallace. Well, there were no forwards to help him, and Hawke's Bay power up and over the line. Again, the Hawke's Bay team surge to the line.
Well, the Lions putting themselves under so much pressure, they needed to take the ball from the kick-off. It's elementary at this level. They're not seemingly able to do so.
Kerr, Paiwai and Quania teeing up something out in the backs. No, it's Tremaine. Only 2 metres short. Again they drive, up and over this time. Referee O'Brien in great position. There's a try to Hawke's Bay. A try to Hawke's Bay, and the man coming up with the ball is their very popular skipper, Norm Hewitt.
Well, Norm Hewitt, there's a roll-off from the scrum. Intended to go to a ruck, was a pick-up. Norm Hewitt had it under control, rolls again around the ruck, over the line.
Well, he's well astray, and so the Lions lead by 6-5. These big English boys in the Hawke's Bay team are doing well at line-out time, and so is Norm Hewitt. Carried on there, Dustin Watts just turning it over. Now will they run it? No, Barnes again with a kick. Pushing it in behind Cunningham, but it'll bounce well. No, it bounces out. See big Bill Davison there, number 5. But it was behind him, that was Fowler. Mike Teague has been penalised for going over the top. The Lions remain on attack. They're about 30 metres out from the Hawke's Bay goal line. Sensational day in Napier for this match between the Lions and Hawke's Bay. Free kick against the Lions from that line out. Well, they'll bring up big Norm Hewitt to bash it up here, I think.
Could be a planned move. I think this is proof that Hawke's Bay do want to play an expansive game.
Well, they're expansive, all right, because it immediately goes out wide. The pass wasn't a good one, though, from Paiwai, and Quania is caught inside the 22. Turnover goes the Lions' way. Short side, Tony Underwood. Back in field to Webster. Try for Richard Webster. They've taken advantage of a mistake by Hawke's Bay, and Richard Webster gets his second try of the tour.
Well, all this comes from a planned penalty move from Hawke's Bay. There's a breakdown in midfield. It was a quick turnover. Comes Underwood, side of the field. He's very strong. Into Webster. too close to the line. Simon Kerr could do little about it.
The try by Richard Webster wasn't converted by Stu Barnes, so 11 points to 5. That's the score. The Lions leading Hawke's Bay. Kerr with the restart. One World of Sport at McLean Park and Napier. The Lions in their 10th game on tour. Jones. Kerr, well, we'll say he did that well. Came back the way of Davis. Now they're trying to move it wide. The passes aren't going to hand. Connier did well to regain that. Cunningham. Now, Hamilton, he's got pace to burn, but no room there. Hewitt and Webber joined immediately by the rest of the forwards. Tremaine in there, and he saw where the ball was and wrenched it. Now Kerr. The high ball. Catch this, Tony Clement, out from the 22. Hawke's Bay offside. No, Lions offside. Penalty goes the way of Hawke's Bay. This time. Off the post. What sort of bounce do the Hawke's Bay team get? Cronin takes it in. Jones. Now they might run it from here. Good position to attack. Cunningham has his Irish teammate Wallace outside him. No room there for Wallace. The tackle made by Kerr. The ball not out of play yet. There's a turnover. Again, the Hawke's Bay backs not getting great ball. Tremaine sets it up. There are numbers here for Hawke's Bay. Falcon back inside for Davison. Plenty of forwards out there from Hawke's Bay, and they get another penalty. Hands in the ruck. Can't hit them at all well today, Cunningham. That's 4 penalty misses and a conversion miss. The number 7s are Gordon Falcon and Richard Webster. Lions back swing into action. This time it's Carling with the kick. Davis. Well, the back three have dropped a few balls today from Hawke's Bay. Had it gone forward, an advantage being played. Jones working it with Galway again. Jones running, but nailed there by Dustin Watts, the number 6, and he prevented him from releasing the ball.
Well, very understandable penalty. Watts should have released him and rolled away from the ball. He didn't, and justly penalised.
The kick from Barnes to give the Lions a further lead. Yes, the touch judges like it. It's 14 points to 5, and we have 5 minutes to go till the break.
Hawke's Bay really need points with 5 minutes to go to half-time.
They've done a lot of attacking, the boys from the Bay. They've hammered away at the Lions' goal line, but just mainly through the kicking of Cunningham have not been able to convert that pressure into points. Davis just takes it this time. No Hawke's Bay players there to assist him yet. Now they arrive. And Davis will have done marvellously well to have freed that ball to his supporters. Well, Webber looks as though he can see it, but there's so many Lions jerseys around him.
It's a lot of scramble.
It's very untidy. Now Barnes runs. Barnes breaks. Teague is on the right of him. Teague the kick and chase. There was obstruction there by one of the Hawke's Bay defenders. And so while Teague didn't look as though he's going to get anywhere near the goal line, the Lions do get a penalty.
Very much a feature of their game so far to use Barnes and Jones to kick over the top of the forwards. And this is Teague, where this led to the penalty, a short kick and taken out by Cunningham.
Cunningham the culprit. 3 minutes to go to the break. One World of Sport at McLean Park and Napier. Barnes kicks his third penalty, and the Lions lead now by 17 points to 5.
The Hawke's Bay very very intent, as we've said, playing this expansive game, but it's just been last passes and ball retention that have let them down.
They used the end of the line out, but it's Webster. He scored the one try for the Lions in the match. Cronin talking from the middle of that maul. The ball is there in the safe arm of Teague. They hit the 22. Teague is by himself now.
Much better maul by the Lions.
Barnes with the run. Back in field there is Webster again. Not quite over. He's held and driven over by one of his own players. No, there's a leg in touch. You can just see a foot over the touchline, I think. And that's where, yes, there, you could just see. Touch judge there is Steve Lunn, and he says Webster was out of play just short of the corner flag.
Well, it came from an excellent maul from the Lions team. They were down low. Here's the line out.
Oh, that's lazy stuff, and Falcon and Hawke's Bay almost pay for it.
They might be saved by the whistle.
They are. Well, the end of a scrappy first half in which the Lions and Hawke's Bay have scored a try each. It's 17-5 to the Lions. Hawkeye. One on a truck here as well, of course, a big one. Murdoch Paiwai there, another of the players whose father played against the Lions. Hepa Paiwai twice against visiting Lions teams. Hewitt intercepting that throw-in was Cronin, but the Lions going back. Now Galway tries to hold it up. It was knocked forward.
This is reasonable scrum position for Hawke's Bay.
Tremaine off the back feeding Webber. The winger wasn't quite there, and so Webber kicks. Clement calls for the fair catch. Well, it's almost as if someone needs to go with a big injection and give this game a bit of life. For Hawke's Bay, Hewitt to throw to this line. Well, Cronin got up and stayed there a long time. He's been watching the NBA, I'd say. This is Carling. Carling, a nice break. Best break he's made all tour. Tackle's not being made, and the final pass was knocked forward. Now, Wallace running into no man's land. There's Cunningham. Reid, not quite the right man to have out in centre field, nor was Milne. Knocked down by Hawke's Bay. Hewitt in there, scavenging for the ball. This is Watts. The supporters there through Crawford. Over the halfway for Katie's Crawford. Frees it up. Now here, the passes have to be made, and the handling lets them down. Aaron Hamilton just unable to take that final bouncing ball, but Hawke's Bay have made about 60 metres. Well, the initial move broke down when Carling and Barnes couldn't combine. And Hawke's Bay back on attack. Jones steps out of one, then a vicious tackle made on him by Tremaine, which knocks the Welsh halfback to the ground. Simon Tremaine, ex-Otago, Wellington, now home in Hawke's Bay. Here's the tackle by Tremaine, really hitting Jones with a bit of force. Now, live action through Clement. The ball is returned to touch. The Hawke's Bay crowd loving this. Fantastic conditions here. The best day for rugby I've seen for a while. Hawke's Bay ploughing on. Norm Hewitt, sensational form again. Just now, Hawke's Bay should have been in there to make sure they got that ball. Now Webber gets it. Watts. Tremaine was right at his shoulder. The ball is there. Webber.
Big
Now what
line
do
up
they
by
do?
Hawke's Bay.
Paiwai tried, that was Cornier trying to crash through. Paiwai's in there. Well, they're kicking it on rather than hacking it back, but they've still won it. Webber says Cronin was offside. Penalty in front of the posts. A cheer goes up for Jared Cunningham. He's landed his first goal. It's 17 points to 8. from the restart. Davison goes high. He's wrapped up there by Teague and turned. The referee using the new law, which means that if a player is wrapped up as he takes the kick, immediately wrapped up and can't free the ball or make anything out of it, his side gets to put into the scrum. Hawke's Bay scrum has been quite solid, period. Highway, he's got a big punt, not always accurate, but that's a nice bounce away down inside the Lions half. Davis was chasing it quickly and he tackles Wallace over the line. Quania thinks of the quick one. One World of Sport at McLean Park and Napier. Great take by Davison. Hawke's Bay trailing by 17-8. Just half an hour to go in this game. Damien Cronin enjoying life on the wrong side. Now he gets back. Reid and Galway also asked to go back as Hawke's Bay drive. 15 out from the line. This is well set, this maul. Falcon now joins him. On goes Taylor. Falcon picks it up. It's therefore the Lions have wrenched it free through right. And an excellent period of play from Hawke's Bay comes to a close 7 metres from the corner flag, a line-out. Bill Davison's won quite a bit of ball for Hawke's Bay in the line-outs at number 2. Oh, lovely leap there. Tremaine timing it. Excellent timing between the hooker, the thrower Hewitt and the jumper Tremaine. Gives Hawke's Bay momentum. They have picked it. Now it goes. Webber, short side. Driving on and over. What a super halfback try to Neil Webber. He just put his head down close to the line and barged his way over. He sold a little dummy. Falcon was there. Falcon drew a tackler. Robert Jones couldn't stop Neil Webber. That's an excellent try to Hawke's Bay.
That's just the finish of a very good passage of play for Hawke's Bay. The forwards for Hawke's Bay being able to exert some control. Webber goes short. Plenty of drive. Good effort.
Here we see it again. The view from Robert Jones, who now makes the tackle, or tries to make the tackle. That's a top little try from Neil Webber. So the try scored by Neil Webber, not converted by Cunningham. It's 17 points to 13. The Lions in front, but only just 4 points the difference.
Shocking kick-off by Barnes.
Cornier. Webber and Hewitt. Tremaine is there as well. Hamilton slamming it downfield. Clement, it's a hanging ball and he's out from the 22. Tremaine making another fine tackle. Leading by example, Norm Hewitt, who scored the first half try by Hawke's Bay. The chant goes up from the crowd at Napier. It's a penalty. A penalty against Teague for use of the elbow in the line-out.
I think Simon Kerr might be given the ball rather than Cunningham.
What's
another one of these
six?
line-outs? Back. Again, very difficult to tell.
You might have just seen Teague's left elbow go in there after Tremaine had gone up, but that'll do. That'll do. That was the call this time. A lot of fingers crossed in the stand. Kerr with his first kick at goal. There's only 1 point in it now. It's the Lions 17, Hawke's Bay 16. Dan Evans, Dean Richards, Rory Underwood watching this.
It's a very good blindside for Hawke's Bay, but all the Hawke's Bay backs are out open.
Webber, they use that short side using the fast man, Aaron Hamilton. They're putting him on Underwood. The kick doesn't quite succeed. Teague was able to, no, not free it the right way. Oh, Norman, away he goes. Falcon with him. Kerr. Now the backs in action again. Cunningham in. Davis inside him. The ball kept in play by Falcon. No, it's not. Well, he's done very well. Davison at the front of the line-out. He's winning vital ball.
Cronin needs a map again.
Kerr had to reach for that pass. Carling took it. That's all the practice he had playing against Auckland at fullback. Barnes putting the Lions back on attack about 12 metres inside the Hawke's Bay half. One World of Sport is at McLean Park in Napier. 18 minutes to go. The Lions leading Hawke's Bay by 17 points to 16.
It was a very good leap by Davison. He's having a very good game for Hawke's Bay. Unfortunately, the pass was a little bit out the front of Kerr, and his kick was not what we would have hoped.
Hawke's Bay have never beaten the Touring Lions side. They're having a good crack this time, though. They trail by just 1 point. Well,
I think Teague will be as astonished as he always is, but he's clearly offside again.
They run at Hawke's Bay. Hamilton's check is not a good one, and touch on the full. Milne. Throw seemed to certainly favour the Lions, but it was Tremaine again who goes through. Now Tremaine also doing some mighty work at the back of the line-out. Webber. Tidier pass to Kerr. Trying to crash through with Cornier. The backs need to get into position quickly. A lot of Lions standing off, as you can see. Hawke's Bay just holding it there.
Centre field, they can go both sides, and they're going the correct one.
Kerr, that's not a bad chip either. That's a good little chip through. Another wonderful ball one at the front of the line-out. Not a great pass, but a drop goal from Kerr is over. Simon Kerr puts the Bay in front, 19 to 17.
Well, this is a tremendous line-out effort from the Hawke's Bay forwards. The pass wasn't great by Webber. Simon Kerr had to go back to retrieve it, but he steadied himself extremely well, and this just sailed between the sticks. Hawke's Bay now go to the front.
No one able to jump then. Referee playing an advantage, Red's way. They get the advantage. Jones,
They'll go back to the
drawing board, I think.
But it's not classic stuff from the Lions. They are under pressure. They appear to be rattled. Discipline's falling away. They'll need to pull things together quickly.
The Lions trailing by 2. Underwood takes the ball. Teague, who's given away about 5 penalties today, lays the ball up for the Lions' backs. Carling and Cunningham. A half gap, a long pass to Wallace. Stepping, Kerr makes the tackle.
Lions forwards very, very slow.
There's only 3 forwards there, now 4. Well, it might be a turnover, there's 2. Cunningham, he gets the call, there's players out wide. Now, Hamilton the speedster. In and outside Underwood. Underwood is quick too. What a great breakout by Hawke's Bay. Cunningham got the call inside his 22.
Tremendous effort by Hawke's Bay. The Lions seem to be able to look as if they were going to create something. The forwards were there very slow, so Hawke's Bay were able to turn it over and take it back. That was a turnover. Cunningham was about to kick, but he got a call from Cornier. Hamilton, and he's quick, inside, outside. Underwood under pressure. He puts a kick forward. All the pressure goes back on the Lions.
Hawke's Bay, their heads up. They have a 2-point edge, 19-17. 11 minutes to go. One world of sport. Driving through Tremaine. Oh, try! Simon Tremaine. He has been tremendous in all phases, and particularly at line-out time.
Well, Galway went up, but he needed to control it. He didn't. Jones was put under all sorts of pressure. Tremaine, great effort. The crowd have gone mad.
Well, it's a great moment for Simon Tremaine. Kerr to make it 26-17. Yes, he does. Hawke's Bay, that's a great lead.
Well, marvellous moment for Simon Tremaine. Very difficult year last year for him. Fantastic effort. He's played tremendously well. I'm sure Hawke's Bay aren't finished yet. Let's hope they aren't.
The Lions, have they got any fizz left? Hawke's Bay certainly will have. Crawford cradling the ball there. Stewart will know what to do. Just run it up at them.
Well, it's a breakout.
Davis. 26 points to 17. Hawke's Bay leading. It was an ordinary first 40 minutes. The second spell has belonged to Hawke's Bay. Total unison from the forwards there. Watts standing off. Watts runs it up. The ball made available again. The passes haven't been great from Webber. Cornier returns the pressure. Hawke's Bay remain on attack.
Well, there have been mistakes by Hawke's Bay in this game, obviously, but they've always looked threatening. They've always tried now to be applauded for it. And now they're getting the result they deserve.
He's had a great game, Bill Davison. Plays for the Celtic Club in Hastings, but he and his locking partner John Fowler, they're great mates from England. They've had a tremendous game. Cronin putting the pressure on. Jones and Hamilton run the ball into touch.
Well, that was a bad error by Hawke's Bay. They seemed to have that under control and they turned it over. Cronin came away with it. But what was quite remarkable about that was his chip kick.
Locks shouldn't try those. Lions ball to the line out. Oh, a lot of hot handing, holding down there. Galway goes in to retrieve the ball from Teague. Hawke's Bay have won it. Turned over. Crawford. Fowler was with him. Now, the big punt from the big second five, Murdoch Kaiwai. A wicked bounce. Another wicked bounce. Cornier takes it in. Kaiwai's there. Advantage going Red's way from the knock-on.
Well, Kaiwai put his big left boot to that. And when it hit the ground, huge bounce. All sorts of pressure for the Lions. Unfortunately, a knock-on.
Will this be safety first from the Lions? Yes, from Clement. 6 minutes to go. He's seen his team lose twice to Otago and New Zealand. Ian McGee can, of course, into Auckland at the weekend. Trying for Tremaine again. This time Galway wins it. That's a dreadful ball for Jones. He's allowed to swear. Graham Taylor, the Hawke's Bay coach, he played against the Lions in 77 for counties. He can afford a little smile. Hawke's Bay leading 26-17. Davison again. The Lions have possession and drive. They really need to add a bit of sparkle to their game. Ken Milne holds it in, but this is not the sort of performance from the Lions which will help anyone get into the test team. Flag is out on this side.
Well, this indicates the frustrations of the Lions pack. They were trying to put on a maul here. Very disorganised. The Hawke's Bay forwards able to get in, disrupt it, and the Lions forwards respond.
Well, the Lions said they were going to change their rucking style, and they will probably say that's the sort of style we've encountered here in New Zealand from teams. We'll see what the penalty is. Bound to be one, unless they couldn't determine who was the instigator of it. Everyone watches with interest. Well, Arcadius Crawford, we saw him throw a punch. Damien Cronin. A penalty to red. Now the referee spoke to both Damien Cronin and Arcadius Crawford. I think Cronin getting the message for over-vigorous rucking, and Crawford is penalised for retaliation. Oh, that's a bad mistake. Norm Hewitt will run it up and wrap it up. He's never been taken by the first tackler all this game. Kerr, is that an accurate kick or is that an accurate check? A delightful touch there from Simon Kerr, the Hawke's Bay first five.
A very bad mistake by the Lions team. They needed to find touch to try and set up a platform to put some pressure on Hawke's Bay. They didn't find it. They allowed Norm Hewitt to give him lots of room to pump up his team and the crowd.
The Lions need to score twice to win this game, and they haven't looked like scoring at all in the second spell. It's a bit late really to try and run it now. Carling, Hawke's Bay really got this game under control. Hawke's Bay need to last a couple of more minutes. That is all. And the Lions need to score twice. One World of Sport from McLean Park and Napier. It looks as though history will be created. Davis away, only 8 metres out. The ball came back, it's been knocked forward. Barnes won't want to be wrapped up in this. The Hawke's Bay forwards now starting to hit. Barnes took it in.
Well, Hawke's Bay playing the expensive game of rugby that they promised. The Lions missing first up tackles, creating all sorts of pressure. Great scrum position here.
It appeared in that scrum as though Hawke's Bay were going to put the second shove on and try to really get a forward roll going from the scrum.
Nobody's left the ground.
Webber waits. Tremaine flicking it back. Not yet. Oh, not controlled well. And Hawke's Bay turn it over. There were some punches going in there. The referee's indication suggests that the Lions were throwing punches, and another penalty. That surely is the end of it for the Lions. 26-17, time up on the clock.
think it's a nice touch that Cunningham has this kick.
Even nicer if he landed it. Jared Cunningham with time up on the board. He nails it. Jared Cunningham kicks the penalty. He's had a dreadful day with the boot, but it doesn't matter. Hawke's Bay have won this game against the Lions by 29 points to 17.